Hello, this is Rosie and I am here to discuss about communication skills. So firstly, we will discuss what is communication. Communication means the exchange of ideas, thoughts, information, experiences, anything could be there through speech, writing or gesture form. Communication, that is the process by which we understand and try to be understood by others, in which we communicate, in which we transfer our ideas or thoughts to other person and understood by the other same also. It involves the sender conveying his or her message and the receiver understanding it. And if the receiver is not able to understand the message, communication is said to be incomplete. If the receiver did not give any kind of response in return of information, then it will be considered as an incomplete communication. Now, what are the different methods of communication? There are total three methods of communication: verbal communication, non-verbal communication, and the third one is your visual communication. Now, we will discuss one by one all these methods of communication. Now, the first one is your verbal communication. As the word represent that relating to or in the form of word, that is considered as your verbal communication, or it is a type of communication in which we pass on knowledge and information through speaking or writing, in which we use the language as the medium of communication. Verbal communication, that also include two parts, that is your oral communication and written communication. What is written communication? That is a form of verbal communication in which information is conveyed in written form as in a language. For written communication, we should follow some rules also, that keep the message brief or give facts to support your viewpoint in the message, or add a summary of your message at the end. Keep the reader or the receiver of your communication in mind while creating the message. Use simple and precise word. Do not use most difficult language for there, and all these things you should take care about that. Second one is your oral communication. That is a form of communication that make use of spoken word either through a face-to-face interaction or through the phone call. Some rules which should be followed while creating a oral communication: that think of what you are saying, as your words will have an impact on the listeners. Second, be calm and composed. Do not show negative body language. Repeat what you are communicating if you feel that there should be scope for doubt. Be a good listener. That is the essential quality for a good oral communication, that you should be a good listener. If you listen other point of view carefully, then he will also listen you carefully, and in that condition you will give the response to the conversation which is delivered from other side. Elements of effective verbal communication. What are the essential parts that is necessary for a effective verbal communication? That is your listening skills, as I have discussed now. Language competency means you should use the proper language. The language should not be very complicated, or it should not use the difficult word. Vocabulary means you should use simple words which is normal to everyone. Don't use extra burden word or jargons for your communication. And last one is your general awareness. Now the second part is your second method of communication, that is your non-verbal communication. Communication does not occur only through words or verbal means, that occurs with the medium of non-verbal communication. What is that? A type of communication that take places without the use of spoken or written word is known as the non-verbal communication. Like your, if you make a thumbs up, thumbs down, or other sign language when you contact to other person with your eyes or hand expression or touch or body language, all these things will be considered in your non-verbal communication. There are some rules which you should follow while doing non-verbal communication, like you do not rub your hands, do not keep your arms crossed while communicating with others, do not keep looking here and there, keep a good posture, or do not make annoying body movement like moving your arms or legs quickly. This will create a negative effect on the sender's mind. Now the third category is your, or third method of communication, that is your visual communication. That is the third most important method of communication, and it can be defined as the transmission of information and ideas using different kind of signs, symbols, photographs, tables, etc. As a old saying is there that a picture speaks louder than 1,000 words. That underline the power of visual communication. By this line, you can understand what is the power of visual communication. Now, there are some limitation of visual communication also there. That first one is this is not cost effective. Too brief, this is too brief to understand the content clearly. Limited scope, you can't use visual communication in each and every topic. That is having the limited scope. Only some topics you can be explained with the visual communication and difficult to understand. As it is too brief, so it will be very difficult for everyone to understand it clearly. Now the next topic is your characteristics of communication. What are the characteristics? What are the qualities of communication? Which kind of conversation you will call a communication? That it involves at least two people, minimum two, maximum can be any can be. Communication must have a message. Communication may be written, oral, or gestural, as we have learned now that there are the three methods. Then in which it should be of one time. Communication, that is a two-way process, means sender give the information to receiver, and receiver in response give a information to sender again. Communication may be both type, that may be formal or informal. Now, what are the benefits of effective communication? Why we should make our communication effective? That enhance our ability to learn, helps to express better, helps develop trust between friends or family members, helps to build relationship. By effective communication, you can make new friends and increase one's value. What are the elements of communication cycle? What is communication cycle? That is the process of by which you can communicate or transfer your information to other. Communication is a two-way process in which information is transmitted from a sender to a receiver. In this process, both the sender and receiver can respond to each other, and this particular cycle is known as your communication cycle. There are some key elements of communication cycle, like your sender, that is the person who wants to convey an idea or concept to others. Second is your message or idea. The message or idea, that is the information that the sender wants to convey to the receiver. Third one is your encoding of message. Encoding, that refer to the way the sender chooses to compose the message by selecting the appropriate word, symbol or gesture which anyone thinks he will be understood by the receiver. After that, channel, selection of communication channel, that is most important, that by which medium you want to communicate with other person. Next one is your receiver. The message is sent through the receiver, that is the person for whom the message is sent, that is considered as your receiver. Decoding, the message is then decoded by the receiver. Decoding means that refers to how the receiver interpret and understand the message. And last one is your feedback. When in turn of information given by the receiver, given by the sender, receiver gives the response to that particular information, that is considered as your feedback. Now we will discuss here about feedback in detail. What is feedback? That is defined as the response given by the receiver to the sender, or that is an integral part of communication process. Feedback is the essential part to make the communication meaningful, and feedback enables us to evaluate the effectiveness of our message. If we got the feedback from the receiver side, then it will tell us that how effective our message for the receiver. Now, what are the types of feedback? There are some types of feedback: formative and summative feedback, descriptive and evaluative, or specific and non-specific. Formative and summative, when we take the feedback or response from the receiver side at particular interval, then it is considered as your formative. And when we take the response from the receiver side after a year or a given period of time, then it is considered as your summative feedback. Second is your descriptive and evaluative. That is also the type of your formative and summative. Descriptive, that is the part of your formative feedback, and evaluative, that is the part of your summative feedback. And last one is your specific and non-specific. When the receiver gives the response for pointing out a particular thing, then that is considered as specific. But when the receiver give a feedback in a normal way, in that condition it is not giving any kind of specification, then it is considered as your non-specific feedback. Now the next thing about communication, that is your barrier. What are the barriers? Barriers, anything that makes the message ambiguous or prevent the smooth delivery of the message at the sender's or the receiver end. That is called your communication barrier. A particular reason which create a disturbance in the delivering of message to one another. Now, what are the types of communication barrier? There are three types of communication barrier: intrapersonal communication barrier, interpersonal communication barrier, or environmental based communication barrier. So the first one is your intrapersonal. These type of barrier can be our own personality, our attitude, our values, knowledge, all these things. Create when we create any barrier by our inner side, that is considered as your intrapersonal communication barrier. Second one is your interpersonal communication barrier, a kind of communication barrier when it create disturbance between two people. The obstacle or factor that hinder communication between two or more people are called interpersonal communication barrier. And third one is your environment based communication barrier, that are also referred to as physical barrier. And the major environment barriers are like time, place, space, climate, and noise. All these are considered as your environmental based communication barriers. Now, causes of communication, what are the reasons for communication barrier? That is lack of trust, differences in perception and viewpoint of any person, use of complicated vocabulary, or physical